Always unprepared, no expense considered. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining me here this evening on the Signal Boost, the live stream that is for the express purpose of signal boosting other indie creators of all stripes. But tonight, rather than a one-on-one interview, what I've got in store is a panel of indie comics creators, because indie comics, Lord knows, they've been put through the ringer a lot lately. And what we need, I feel, is a lot more showcasing, a little less drama farming, and just putting on display what we like, what we're excited about, and what's coming down the pipeline. Real quick, before I get to introducing my guests, we are streaming live from my channel here on YouTube, also live on Rumble. If you guys can help us grow over on Rumble, head over to Rumble, leave us a like, a comment, something, anything to kind of help boost us up in that algorithm, because they're growing fast and I want to grow fast with them and try to help maintain a presence on there that's, not just politics, because that's the kind of thing that really helps a place grow, is when you got stuff that's just, not just politics, talking all the time. We're also streaming live on X for anyone who's interested in that. And we're also streaming live to other people's channels as well. If you're watching this on their channel, we're over here on mine. But real quick, before we get started, we're going to say hello to everyone in the chat, everyone who's here, because without the chat, guys, we don't got nothing. They're why we're here. We've got Devil Flyer Momentum. He's right there. Yeah, there we go. Right there. He's in the chat and he's on the show. Little bit of a double dip there.
How does he do
Wrangler.
Cloning.
My good friend TJ Lombardi says, "Hail the great Goat Day." No, you're confusing me with Royce, TJ. Okay. Yeah, that's that whole goat thing. That's Royce over on A Drink with Crazy, who's also a good channel. Miss Carrie says, "Hey Rex," she is over here from, I believe she said she's here from Luke's channel.
No, my channel.
Your channel, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's all coming over. Anyway, B.A. Turner, good to see you, sir. Animation Overload is here. Chris Longfellow, thank you for dropping in. We appreciate it. Tim Allen says, "Bring on the mead." I don't drink. I don't even have any coffee right now. This is what I saw earlier. Just popped on liked on Luke's channel as he's streaming it too. Thank you.
Nice.
We always appreciate that. Andrew Campbell says, "Big ups over from Australia. Good to see you, sir."
What's up, Andrew?
Eddie Brock says, "Comics." Yes, indeed. We have comics, and we'll talk about comics. Everly Music.
Hey, what's up, Everly?
Everly Music is here as well. I need to have him on here because he's got some good stuff going.
Good dude.
Or am I thinking of JBP Music? I get those two mixed up.
On here. I'm so confused already.
That's all right. We've established this. We've established this in the past. Aaron is I'm bottom Aaron. He's top Aaron. So
okay.
Yeah.
There we go.
It happened again.
Very nice.
It happened again. There you go.
This
is now a thing.
So real quick, because he is not saying he's streaming from work. That would be an unethical thing to do. But if he were, I would probably want him to go first. My first guest, who's going to go ahead and get his pitch out the way real quick, is Lance Corporal Hawk, who is right down there below me. Lance, why don't you let everyone know what you are doing, what you're kind of here to help promote?
Well, first off, hail the Iron Age, everybody.
Hail the Iron Age.
And so the last time I was on one of these, I was promoting a channel called Hyperfrost Productions. Recently, two other channels, one of which I was part of before Hyperfrost, have merged with Hyperfrost. So now it's not just Hyperfrost Productions dubbing over things. It is now also Void of Voices and Timeless Dubs. Timeless Dubs, like I said, was a channel I've been part of a few years prior to Hyperfrost Productions. And most of what we dubbed over, we did comic dubs, mainly indie comic dubs. For the most part, kind of like the Tumblr-esque style of stuff, although one of those I found in a Walmart as a published book. So like, that's interesting. But long and short of it, we dubbed over these. So that was a really cool thing that I discovered and got asked to be part of. And more recently, Void of Voices, I just recently discovered and have kind of rolled into that as part of the merger with Hyperfrost. What they've been doing is what they're most known for so far is the Archie Sonic the Hedgehog comic dubs. So think of the Archie Comics Sonic comic run and have dubbed over that. And what Quantum X wants to do, who's in charge of Hyperfrost, he wants us to eventually do the Archie Mega Man comics, dub over those.
Fun
So
fact.
that's one thing.
Fun fact, that Archie Sonic comic. Look, guys, I didn't collect a lot of comics growing up. I read comics. I didn't collect a lot of them. That Sonic comic, I was there. Issue 0 to into the 100s. I had every mini series, every 48-page special, every issue of the Knuckles comic, which wound up being one of the reasons Ken Penders kind of had his downfall in comics. And that comic run is near and dear to my heart.
You've mentioned it before, like on Twitter and stuff. Yeah, I know you're a big Sonic fan. That's cool.
Old school Sonic fan. Once it hit 3D, I kind of didn't jive with it anymore.
I remember you saying that in the last stream.
Yeah, that was comic was very near. It was good, but about issues 125-ish or so, it kind of got to the point where it had been so bad quality for so long. I noped out. I couldn't be bothered to. I wish I still had the collection. I sold it to a guy for $50, and I regret that now. Yeah.
Well, it's
I know.
Like I said, Void of Voices have been doing that for a couple of years now. So I don't know how many issues they are in exactly. I haven't personally done a deep dive into the channel, but they've got quite a few of them out. So if you want to hear people dubbing over that to reliving the glory days, then that's where I go, is Void of Voices.
Void of Voices.
And, yes,
I see
Void
that.
of Voices.
I see that. I'm gonna put their link in the chat. Excuse me.
All right. And the other channel.
Go ahead.
And the other channel, as I mentioned, was Timeless Dubs. And I've already mentioned some of what we've done over there. One of the long-running series on there is a series called Ava's Demon, which is the one that has become its own physical book. And some of the fan Undertale stuff is what they were more well known for before I joined up and even after. But we're hoping to expand now. And one of the things that I'm personally wanting to oversee, and I've kind of been given the go-ahead, I'm hoping we get to do it later this year. I want us to dub over one of the Shadow graphic novels. And
that would be cool.
Specifically, I want to start with the Shadow 1941, Hitler's Astrologer. I want to start with that.
What?
Yeah, because it was you remember in Razor Meets versus Comics, that was the only Marvel Shadow comic ever made? I'm pretty sure he said.
Huh.
And I just want to hear somebody say the line of "Beg Satan forgiveness that you'll find none this side of hell."
Nice.
Cool.
Actually, let me see if I can do it. Let me see if I can do a Brett Morrison.
Yeah, in character.
Beg Satan forgiveness. You'll find none this side of hell.
Nice.
Most writers go a lifetime without ever coming up with a line that awesome.
Oh
yeah.
Hell yeah. No kidding.
Well, they're
Yeah, I
not
wanna
giving
find
it
it.
enough thought.
Let it just put it in the oven and let it simmer a minute, see if it works. If it spoils, you
let
know
it
it's
cook.
right or not.
Yeah. It's harder than you think, guys. Like I'm one of those writers that the harder I try to write something that sounds cool or is funny, the worse it gets.
Relax your mind. Relax your mind. Get into a dream
Fear is
state,
the mind
whatever.
killer.
Relax your
It's like-
mind and let just think about things, and something will click.
Yeah, that flow state.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't
You
want
might get on a writing tear and write War and Peace in a day.
Yeah.
Aaron, when are you
Yeah,
going to get out of the dungeon? Last time I saw you, you were in the dungeon, and you're still there.
Dude, I'm stuck here. What can I do?
Yeah, we don't want to have to hear the Rodney Dangerman. Whoa, put her back in. She's not done yet.
Respect.
Oh, my old man, he never took me to the zoo. He said if they want you, they'll come get you.
Absolutely.
But yeah, those are the two channels I mainly wanted to promote. And like I said, I'm really hoping we do more than just that one Shadow graphic novel, because there's how many others prior to the new millennium that we could find, and
we need
potentially more pulp stuff, but
we
right now
need
that's
to
the thing we wanna
capture
know for
some of
sure.
that pulp feel, within the indie market. I think it's kind of coming around, an appreciation for it. And you have, I mean, they called it the theater of the mind.
Oh yeah.
Everybody would see something different because they use their imagination, and very few people, they're doing rehashes. They're doing, it's imagination's probably at an all-time low with some folks,
Yeah, I'm just realizing that I've got the train lights right behind me here, so you see them flashing.
Get off the tracks, Lance.
Yeah. Not worth it.
Hey,
Don't
I'd
do
rather
it.
too
Hey,
young.
I'd rather that train. I'd rather that train be there. I'd rather that train be there, in all honesty, because on the other side of that train track is the hood. So
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Hey man, I grew up in the hood. There ain't nothing wrong with the hood.
Just stay on your side of the hood, and you'll be all right.
Until you get robbed.
I grew up in the white version of the hood. It's called the trailer park.
Oh yeah. Was Marshall there?
Who?
Marshall Mathers?
Yeah.
Don't get me started. Please don't get me started. I don't like that guy or his music. Or anything.
Okay,
I'm gonna go on a rant if I get started.
Oh
So
shit.
But before we get too far into the conversation, let's go ahead and introduce the rest of the panel real quick, and then we'll start going around the horn and get to everybody's projects that they got going on. To my side here is Mr. What do you go by? Because it says Momentum Rex.
Rex is fine. That's my
Rex.
name. Momentum is my company name. So
Okay.
Yeah.
Rex, how are you doing this evening, man?
doing great. You're doing great, man.
We're
Got a
trying.
campaign up on Fund My Comic and closing one down on Indiegogo. We did an ash can for it over there, and we got the magazine up now over on Luke's platform over on Fund My Comic, and doing pretty well. No complaints. And I've got my sidekick here, Abigail.
She seems like she's having a ball.
Yeah.
Good to hear, man. Good to hear. A new face to my channel and just kind of in my sphere. It's kind of, we met on X, is Mr. Aaron Jordan of Wolfsbane Comics. How are you, man?
I'm doing mighty well, thank you.
that is a cool name
very
for a
long
comic
day.
brand. That is
Wait,
a
what?
cool name for a comic brand. I said that's a
thank
cool
you.
name for a comic brand. Wolfsbane Comics. That sounds awesome.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you so much, my friend.
And
That's
going
you.
down here is a familiar face to the channel as well, Mr. Oop, y'all all right? What happened?
I'm good.
Okay,
Yeah.
my
think you're
screen
all right.
just totally froze for a second.
Oh,
Familiar face to our and I feel it's Luke Stone from Fund My Comic.
It's me.
How are you doing, Luke?
Good. Who's got two thumbs and loves comics? I'm sorry, my meds are wore off.
I gotta remember I'm on birth controls now.
Yeah. I'm good, man. I'm good.
Oh, that's good to hear, man. And Fund My Comic, glad to see it doing so well because more and more creators are coming over to that particular space, and it's starting to, it's been gaining that momentum over time that it's needed to grow.
Yeah. It really is. People that aren't using it, I'm not sure why they're not using it. Especially if so for your first 30 days, if you run exclusive on our platform, we're lowering the platform fee down to 2%. And I know those percentages don't sound like a lot, but if you think for, as you start for every $100, it's so much. For every 1,000, for every 500, but you start thinking about how much money you're saving. It allows you to put more money in your own pocket.
And
Let's
you're going
be
to do
honest.
more on the front end anyway, right? When you launch, hopefully.
Yeah. I mean, we're seeing a lot of people do really well over there. We're not saying don't try the other platforms, but we actually, so we all know that somewhere around November, crowdfunding slows down, and then we get into January. It starts to pick back up. February a little bit. March is a busy month. We're getting ready to. We've got so many campaigns launching next month. We've got several set up for May. We've got some big campaigns coming in March as well. I mean, some things that are going to do. They're going to do really well. So a lot of traffic starting to flood in now, and it's nice. It's nice. We're seeing it there. We're seeing people be able to kind of keep more of their own money and have the freedom to do what they want to do, and it's nice to be a part of it. And I'm here. I'm here to signal boost my own book tonight, though.
Oh,
because,
awesome, man!
Because it
Drop
hasn't been boosted for a minute.
Drop the link in the Twitter in the private chat so that I can get to it. All you guys drop your links in the private chat so that I can get to them easy when it comes time to showcase them. But next on the list, somebody who's been a frequent contributor, a frequent guest, frequent friend is Mr. Bottom Aaron of Immortal Rising Comics. Which
Bottom Aaron.
Whoa.
Well,
Nice.
we could do top Aaron, bottom Aaron. We could do black Aaron, white Aaron. Which one you want?
Wow.
Hey, I don't mind.
I'll take both. It doesn't matter to me.
I remember the
Chocolate
first time
and vanilla. There. That's your distinction. Chocolate
I remember
vanilla.
the first time I saw Aaron on camera, top Aaron.
Let's see
I was
that
like-
book,
I was like, what?
John. Let's see
It's
that
like, what?
book.
You're black?
What?
I remember that moment. Good time. Wasn't Belmont there?
Yeah.
I think
Belmont
my
was there,
truck was about to die on me.
Oh,
I
didn't have
thanks
it
for
really
that
good.
plug. I got one right here too. Yeah.
Ah, there we
Beautiful
go. There
book.
we go. Yeah,
Nice.
that's and I admittedly have dragged my ass on the indie comics that I've backed and supported in reading them and getting the reviews out. I've started to record reviews this week to drop in subsequent weeks. Probably drop about 2 a week. So this will probably be one of the first ones because I finally got around to reading this, man. And yeah, very impressive.
Is
Very
that
impressive
Jose's artwork there?
Thank you.
I believe
Yes,
so.
that's Jose Garcia.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it is very nice. The lighting is making it look a little worse than it is. Because my lighting sucks.
No one does colors like Jose. I mean, Luna Vox is out of the box,
And he'll be like, "Oh, I got to work on my colors." I was like, "Okay." I mean, if you think you could do better, go for it.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
So, I hate to have to dip, but I do need to go ahead and get back to work before it becomes too long.
Nice
See
meeting
you,
you, man.
Lance.
All right.
Take
So
care.
it's a
man.
pleasure meeting you guys too, and I'll post the links to Void of Voices and Timeless Dubs in that chat whenever I get a chance to. So
Thanks
hopefully,
for thanks for dropping in, man. Always happy to help, and always don't know where I was going with that.
And don't
Always.
forget
Put on
your
your,
lens.
put on your
Always
orange
remember-
vest.
Always never not
always
do
remember
that.
always remember to let your truck run when you're doing this, so that it doesn't start flashing off on you like it was just then.
And don't forget your vest that you took off either.
Yeah, be nice to your old shitbox, man. The nicer you are to them, the longer they run.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I believe it.
It's true.
I'll leave on a silly frame. Bye, guys.
See you, Lance.
The silliest. Man, I miss my old shitbox. I ain't gonna lie. That was the first vehicle I ever had. Was an '86 Chevy Silverado. My dad bought because he has a lot of mechanic skills. He bought it on the side of the road and fixed it up and painted it Smurf blue with a couple of stripes on it and gave it to me. And I was a little bit of a shithead, a teenager at the time. I was kind of like, I don't like this truck all that much. But then once I realized, I can go wherever I want, whenever I want. I couldn't thank him enough in later years and apologize hard enough. I just missed that damn thing. It was held together by faith, duct tape, and Bondo, but it did the job.
Nice.
So,
Some baling wire. I like it.
yeah, can't forget the baling wire. It's indestructible. I love it. We're going to get started here. I'm going to share a screen. We're going to start with Mr. Rex with his campaign for that he's got going on currently. Buttons. I can't talk and do things at the same time.
Yeah, I can't
What?
hardly breathe, much less do anything else.
I know. Man, I hear that accent. I got to know where you at.
Jonesboro, Arkansas. That's northeast Arkansas, about an hour's
There we
drive
go.
out of from Memphis to Memphis.
I thought that sounded a little close to a Tennessee accent.
hmm
'Cause
They would
I think-
argue with you on that, but yeah.
I imagine so. I went to a cave on a vacation in Tennessee, and the little dude who was our tour guide was 17. He had the thickest country accent I've ever heard, and I understood him just fine, but somebody from another state asked him later, "Are you actually speaking English? Are you from here?"
Wow.
Like, damn, that's a thick country accent there.
Nice.
Oh yeah,
Just like
Rick.
we like our ham cut, thick cut.
Thick.
Thick. Thicker the
Nice
better.
and thick.
Extra
Thick and juicy.
Rex, tell us about your comic that you got going on, man.
Well, it's been running for a couple of weeks here up on Fund My Comic. Devil Flyer is sort of a central figure. It's of the whole Momentum universe. Born in 1899, he fought in World War I, World War II. We don't get to see that in this issue. This kind of prequel issue that sets up a lot of the characters. All the stories are one and done, but they're all interconnected, and eventually it's all going to come under just the banner of Devil Flyer. And then we'll see about there will be other titles that spin off, depending on the popularity of the characters. The next one that we do after this is going to be Momentum Future Visions. That's going to be stories told in the future of the Momentum universe. So that I have one story that I'm going to do that's slightly in the future, one that's told 250 years in the future, and one that's set in the future for the character, but set in our past in 1959. So we're going to do some fun things with this. Basically, he's made a Faustian devil deal with the devils. Hypothetically speaking, sort of open Pandora's box in a way. Chaos upon the world.
Yeah.
Want to get out?
As one does.
And so he's got to prevent the apocalypse from, the destruction of the planet eventually coming to the planet. So he's having to eventually will meet some of these characters you see on this, probably all these characters that you see on the cover, and sort of form a Justice League or an Avengers to fight off that great evil in the climax of the story.
Nice.
As one does.
As one does, yeah. So, it's not just about Devil Flyer, but a lot of it focuses around Devil Flyer. Like I say, you do have, it's kind of told like an anthology, but I wouldn't call it an anthology because it's all interconnected or will be. If it's not directly interconnected in this issue, most of the stories will be somewhat.
Who did that cover?
That's John Dillard. He's also working on a couple other things for me. And he has a 2-page interman, and he did the content page artwork as well.
Nice.
That's my neighbor did this. He's 70 something years old.
Oh,
nice.
He was 71 when he drew the Devil Flyer story, and he did this watercolor cover for me. This will be kind of marked up to look like a, Golden Age cover when it's all said and done. Probably a big old 10-cent mark on it. I have a wraparound cover coming, from Jimmy Reyes. That's what that's there for. And then we have an artist edition that'll be in black and white here on the cover with the color logo. Hopefully we can fund it a little bit more and get a clear acetate dust jacket. And then I'll have a John additional artwork framing done on that. And we also have a blank variant cover for those that like to draw. I certainly am looking forward to that one most of all, so that I can draw some of the Momentum characters and send those out to people.
I've never heard of a blank cover variant before.
Yeah, actually, I work with a guy who is big into comics and goes to cons, helps out a guy that does a lot of con circuits around me. And anyways, I just happen to work next to the dude, and he loves blank covers. He's like, I got the Spawn blank cover and blah blah. Yeah, he just I don't know. He loves them. So I was like, he's like, you should do that for yours as well. I was like, I'll keep that in mind.
I have never drawn on one that I bought multiples of, and they weren't that cheap because the price on the book wasn't that cheap to begin with. Was Action Comics 1000,
Oh,
But I do have some other blanks besides that. But Shelby Robertson, who's an artist within the community, and Jason Bascom and Dan Plegel, they do a lot of blank variants, and so they know. I don't know exactly the stock paper, but Shelby does. I'll get the best, what he feels like is the best to draw upon for this cover, because there's some blank variants that people draw on that the paper quality is not that great for ink or, but we'll get a good stock for it.
I like this black and white cover. And I found that out here a lot lately that some of the indie comics that I come across, you'll see some of the uncolored inks when they're done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And as much as I do like color, I think Razorfist had one of the best observations ever in that color is a choice, not an objective upgrade. This almost looks better in black and white.
Yeah, this is going to be in black and white. There is a story called Gray Tales that you'll see down there that has some spot coloring, which the coloring helps tell the story. Much like Schindler's List, the shoes.
Yeah.
In Schindler's List, it helps the arc of the story, so that will have some spot coloring in it. Most of it's going to be black and white. Magazine size. John drew this a couple years ago, back in 2022. The character was created, I believe, in 2018. Now that I look, I was thinking it was 17, but I think 18. And it took us about 8 months to actually get going on it, because I kept pitching him other ideas, and he drew it to scale. He didn't want any printing problems, so he drew it the size of an actual comic book. So when I got a proof that was blown up to magazine size, I said, this is the size it needs to be. So, and he had 2 eye surgeries during this time when he was drawing it, one on the right eye and one on the left eye. So take that into mind when you look at the artwork. It's amazing. He's a great designer to have drawn it so small and yet get such a scale to the artwork when you know the story behind it. And the artist edition will kind of go into some of that. It'll have additional material that's not in the 48 pager, the hardback, the artist edition.
Yeah.
And we also have a John Dillard Devil Flyer standee and a 6 a.m. sticker that we're giving to everybody for free. If you did sign up, you'll get a full trading card for free. And we're almost to the stretch goal for another trading card done by John. This is Doc Blaylock here. This is another character, sort of my Swamp Thing or Man Thing, called the Bog, B-O-G-G. And really the story is more about the clown than it is about Bog. Bog's just kind of the conclusion to the story.
Nice.
This is, I'm not going to lie, this is a funny sequence of panels out of context.
Yeah. It's like, what is going on?
Yeah, I don't know the context, and that's what's making my imagination is filling out. I'm not expecting these 4 panels.
Yeah. Clown in a grave.
I usually pace things out with my thumbnails, and give them to the artist and then say, here, draw this. And that's, that's
I'm sure it makes sense.
Yeah. And I usually write the dialogue afterwards. Actually, this is some more of Doc Blaylock's work. And in fact, I just got the original art in today. So some of this may go up for sale next week. On every Wednesday on my show, we're dropping new artwork and things, bookmarks done by me, or sketch cards, or we have a full variant coming out, which is, I can share the artwork with you on that if you wish. Something John Dillard just completed, and he's working on another piece, the Bystander, which is kind of my Watcher type character. He's the guy in the fedora hat with the trench coat. He's kind of my Watcher cosmic character. And
very cool.
Russ Leach is also doing another thing for me. He's out of the UK, but I had John do this piece for me. Just let me.
I really like that bottom middle. It looks great. Just the contrast is perfect.
Yeah, that looks pretty. That looks really sinister. He reminds me of. I know, probably not a lot of people remember this. There was this new wave indie musician named Dr. Steele that came out way back in the late 2000s, and his whole shtick was that he was like an evil scientist, but he was a musician, and he looked like that.
Yeah, I mean,
Like, almost exactly like that.
He's kind of like this is actually after I don't know if he was a Satanist or I'd have to look it up again, but he was really a rebel rouser in his day. And he's called the director, and he's kind of like the head of Spectre is for James Bond. He's called the director, and he's part of a secret organization that the mobster that goes up against Devil Flyer in this first story in Chicago is trying to get in a little bit deeper with. And that connects it with the Inner Man story, which is John Dillard's drawing that. And then Doc Blaylock did Grave Tales, which are featured here. The Inner Man story is not even up here yet. Wow, yeah, that looks like it.
I like it.
That was one of his album covers.
Huh.
It was a great little piece too.
Oh, that looks like H.G. Wells, a riff on H.G. Wells' War of the Worlds.
That's
Oh
what he
yeah.
actually looked like too.
Yeah.
Like he had a costume. He was in costume. He looked exactly like that. It's a good like mad scientist look though. I like it.
Yeah.
Definitely. Got that Hugo Strange vibe.
Yeah.
Except for the I have that pulled up if you want to look at it. To go all the way down to the bottom, because John Dillard did a content page. I use it as a credit page. Well, there's the 6
Can we look
a.m.
at that?
sticker.
Can we? Yeah, there we go. That's great.
Ooh.
I really like 6 a.m.
Yeah, you'll get that's off and he's doing another one for me. This is off of John Dillard's. I said I'll make it easy on you. Just do John Dillard's. Your take on that. That's what we're trying to unlock there from John. And then if you go down a little bit further, you'll see Zigzag, the Speedster, and then there's the content page. Critical Blast is fulfilling this.
Nice.
The typewriter there will be the content page. But for here, I used it as the credits.
That's cool.
And I also have another John piece here if you want to bring it up and share screen.
Let me see. I'm waiting for it to load up. The other link you shared in the chat.
Well, I guess.
Wait,
it's an image.
It's the same. Where at?
You'll see it in a little box there around where we are.
Oh, all the way down at the bottom?
No, not on the campaign. I'm sharing an additional image that's not up on the campaign yet.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I see it now.
There we go. All right. So this will be added here pretty soon. This will be another type of Devil Flyer
Dang.
villain.
Who did
here.
that?
This is John Dillard as well.
Okay.
This will be part of the ultra limited variant cover on the back of it. So we'll have the black and white on artist edition on full, and then this is going to be on the back of the full cover. And it'll be exclusively first look at this character in his first sort of cover appearance, and we'll because I with every issue I want to do first appearances of characters and things, and we're gonna only print 40 of those. So it's like when I drop that, it's kind of first come first serve on that, and I'm gonna want a copy or two myself. So
Very cool, man.
Full 40 up there.
The Devil Flyer is giving me a little bit of Rocketeer vibes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, with the fin there, and that actually was Yondu, from even
the original.
Even before the movies came out. The first time I used that was my Aquaman, which is Sea Demon. and he's not going to be in this issue that I know of. I'm still working on the last. Well, he will make a cameo appearance. There'll be a lot of cameo appearances in here, in sort of in the bystander story, which is kind of give you an overview of things to come in the future. Some of that may be Devil Flyer's past. Sort of a look at this Chrome guy. You know, I just want to get little caveats out there and show people that there's more to Momentum Comics than just one character, 2 or 5 or 8. There's a whole universe here, and it starts basically right here, you know. And the wings and the tail suggested Devil Flyer to me. You know, when often I'll design the character, then name him. That doesn't always happen that way, but that's usually how I work. Usually I'll design the face, then the costume, then I'll name the character. And that's Sea Demon had the first. Actually, while we were doing Devil Flyer, we actually found in a portfolio, the only drawing that was done back in 93 when he was created, in a portfolio of John's, you know, his version from my drawings, because all mine were destroyed in 97 in a fire. And,
oh, dang.
And that's where my first comic book collection went. And then I bought out that same year a comic book shop and got back on the horse and started collecting again. And
I've been through a little of that myself. When I remembered, it only occurred to me, I wish I still had my Sonic comic collection. Then I remembered I would have just lost it in the flood in 2016 anyway. I lost almost everything in that. So,
yeah.
Rex, man, that looks great. It looks fantastic. Before we get moving on, I'm going to go and say hi to a couple folks in the chat that have been popping up before we move on to Mr. Aaron. Wait for him to get back too. Cannoli Sasquatch, friend of the channel, is dropping on in, as well
Cannoli?
as RH Snow. He mostly reviews movies and stuff. Him and his panel reviewed District 9 last night. I've been on his channel a couple of times. They usually call me because I'm the fantasy guy. Like, hey, we're talking Lord of the Rings here. I'm like, hell yeah, I'm right there. Shadowpunk is here. He popped in as well.
What's up, Shadowpunk?
Good to see you, man. Good to see you. I'm scrolling through. I see. Oh, Legends of the Brave Bard is here. It says, hello, friends. Hope we are having excellent this evening. I believe we are.
What up?
I'm doing real well. I got food. I got a house. You know, I got a loving family. Even better, it's my daughter's 11th birthday today. So
all right,
we're having a God. She's almost as tall as me too. Like, this girl is huge. I got to find some kind of sport to put her in so she can like excel and make money.
Mine
my
loves
daughter's
volleyball.
11th birthday. Now, this was my eldest adopted daughter, because I adopted 2, and I have 1 biological. But on her 11th birthday back in 1990, I went with her grandfather, my father-in-law, in a gas truck, and we turned it over with 2,000 gallons of gas in it. And thankfully, thank God, it didn't blow up.
Oh, wow.
That's what we were doing on her 11th birthday. I'm very fortunate to be here.
Rogue Artistry is also here over from the Facebook side, as well as Hojo.
Yo, Hojo.
Not able to make it. Yeah, I asked him. He wasn't able to make it. He's got some family commitments this week, but definitely going to be streaming with him soon, because the Mythicals is doing too good not to have the man on and talk about it. Mr. Brian McCoppin has dropped in, as has Jolly Green. Good to see you guys. Good to see you guys.
Green Giant.
God, you got to be of a certain vintage to remember that. So, certain vintage is my I am an old. Sorry, not sorry.
I got the gray hair. Anybody remember Niblet, his little sidekick?
No.
Niblet. The little kid one? Yeah.
The little kid one, yeah. They even made a Pez of that. I've got it.
I don't care how much I like the Jolly Green Giant. I was not eating peas.
I know. It tastes like wall paste.
Yeah.
Without the
I always
taste.
imagine eating them was like eating tiny eyeballs, and that just grossed me out.
Yeah.
I don't know,
Green
guys. I always
caviar.
liked
That's
peas.
went bad.
Yeah,
No
they're sweet.
thanks.
Yeah, they're sweet.
Well,
I like them.
Well, we're going to go ahead and move on to our next guest. First of all, we're going to say hello to Hero Darky Dark for jumping in.
What
He
up?
just left.
Hey,
I
man.
saw you over there on. I hated that I was streaming at the same time as Left Eye Ego. Man, he's my boy, and I would have showed up and said hi. I actually thought about stream sniping him just for shits and giggles, but not going to do that though.
Yeah.
Hey, no problem, no problem. By the way, good to be here. Welcome, everyone.
We'll get to you in a little bit, man. But he's been waiting for a minute. We're gonna get Mr. Aaron Jordan, aka Black Aaron, aka Top Aaron. No,
Black
you know
Top.
what? We can stay on brand. Aaron Jordan can be Wolf Aaron, and Aaron C can be Immortal Aaron.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I like that.
So Wolf Aaron, man, I'm gonna
Yo.
bring up your campaign real quick. Tell us about Pendragon, the Legend Foretold.
All right. So I first had the idea for Pendragon when I was looking through that one show on King Arthur called Merlin, and I was like, oh shoot, this show is really good. Wait, hold on, is my camera glitching out?
Yeah, you're glitching. You've got a little bit of a delay going on, but we've been powering through.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice.
That's actually kind of trippy.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. Hold on. Yeah, that tripped me
Wait,
out.
are you supposed to be in this dimension? Is this your canon event?
No, honestly, that actually goes with the book. I'm gonna run with it. So I figured, why don't I just do something with this mythos? Because I'm a huge mythology guy at heart. I love Celtic mythology. I love Arthurian mythology, Greek, whatever. And I figured, let me just go ahead and see if I can write a book that pertains to my love of the fantasy, and as well as I'm a kind of a chaotic guy. I like seeing people fight, so I put a lot of that in there as well. So
That's right up
with
my alley.
Pendragon,
Yeah, sword fights.
Go ahead.
Yes.
Yes, dude, I couldn't get enough of that.
And I've never been huge in. I know the Arthurian legend is in the myth is really popular. A lot of people. I've never been a huge history and mythology buff, but if you tie it to epic fantasy somehow, I will be there, hands down. 76 pages.
Hey, just mentioning orcs. You'll be there.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
72 pages. I think it's actually 76 right now. I'm gonna have to look at the script, but it's around 72, 76, and a lot of this has to deal with legends and prophecies, because in King Arthur's mythos, he's the guy that he falls in battle, but one day he returns to set Britain free. And I figured I'd put a twist on it. Like, what if King Arthur's no longer able to be around and the legend was actually talking about something completely different? Because in classic mythos, like Greek mythology, you have the prophecy, and sometimes the prophecy doesn't really always unfold the way that you want it to. So I said, I'll have hold up. So I pretty much just made it so that Arthur does come back in a way, but it's not it's not the way that everyone else thinks. Shoot. I'm sorry. I'm usually not up to date.
I gotta say the art looks fantastic, man.
Thank you. That was done by Carly and Gracia. Real nice guy.
So we got a few promo images just so far, but just from what I'm seeing, this looks outstanding. When are you expecting to launch this?
Right now, I'm not really sure where I'm gonna launch it. I'm hoping to shoot for sometime in the middle of this year. But right now, my main focus is making sure that the book is at least 80% complete. And so far, we're getting right to that goal. In terms of inks, we're around halfway there with at 40 pages. And next month, my colorist, my friend David Smelling is going to be coloring everything.
Well, it looks good so far, man. I really dig the art. I dig the concept too. Even if I'm not as familiar with the Arthur legend as a lot of other people, but I think most people these days, most people think King Arthur. They think of the derisive line from Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Like, it's impossible for nerds not to remember that line about but this does look good, man. And anybody else got any thoughts on this or questions?
I mean, the art is gorgeous.
It really is.
It does.
I want to see more of it.
Quality,
Amazing.
doesn't it?
Oh yeah, if you want to see more, I actually did put a link in the private chat. It's where all my promotional material from the book is.
All right, let me see here. Okay, let me share this tab instead. Oh yeah, that's hitting the spot. That's the good stuff.
Oh yeah, so right there, this is Arthur on the left, and
Sorry.
his son and sworn enemy Mordred on the right. And let me tell you, Mordred was designed to be one of those villains where he's diabolical for absolutely no reason. He's got sort of he's like the classic version of Malekith and Doctor Doom.
Well, that's really the thing about Myths is the characters at a lot of the times are really stand-ins for ideals. They're just the embodiment of an ideal. You don't always have to humanize a villain or a hero in order for be able to relate or enjoy them. I think that gets lost in a lot of modern writing because they all feel it, and I've seen this way too much. Look, I love that episode of Batman the Animated Series, Heart of Ice. Okay, it's one of the greatest things ever made in any entertainment medium. But you get so many writers who ape the I have to make a sympathetic villain because it worked for Mr. Freeze.
Oh yeah, Mr. Freeze, right? Where he's like talking about his wife. Yeah, it's such a great episode.
Yeah.
But it's like sometimes something is lightning in a bottle, and you can't always recapture that. If you're good enough, yeah, you can, but it doesn't need to be all the time. It feels like it's all the time.
I really appreciate a bad guy that is like the embodiment of like a philosophical argument. It'll be like, well, this is my belief or ideology, and then the good guy can fight with morals against that, and we can see that argument going on. And a lot of times these newer stuff is just like, well, he wasn't that bad of a guy, or he had good reasons for doing what he was doing. It's like every time.
Yeah. You knew where Magneto and where Professor X stood.
Yeah.
On their ideology.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah. That argument's been going on in the background of the Starship Troopers argument on Twitter as well.
Oh, don't get me
very aggravating. Yeah, it's all very gay listening to it all back and forth. And I'm just all I can say is, I don't even want to get started. I don't even have the energy, and I don't want to take too much of the time away from the guests and the projects they got going on. I'm going to scroll down a little bit more and see what else we got. There's the full page of that promo pic.
Look at that.
Oh, yeah.
Inject that directly into my veins.
Are you sure?
It seems like you have an affinity, John, for the black and white. Is that right?
I enjoy it in its own way, but I do also, when it comes to fantasy, especially, I like, yes. So I was about to say, I like my fantasy to be vivid and colorful. Even if it's got a bit of a grungy layer to it. Is one thing I did not care for about Game of Thrones is all the colors were so desaturated. Everything looked like a vague shade of grayish with a little bit of other color splashed onto it. The colors didn't pop, and I want the colors to pop.
Yeah.
These colors pop.
Understand that.
It looks like you have a menorah back there. Is that a menorah along with the?
Oh, you're talking about the blue flag? No, that's actually, I forget which flag it is. Like
right there in the kind of off to the right of the center there.
Right at the center?
By the red banner. Sort of the multi-pronged, like.
The yellow one?
No, a menorah is like a lampstand. You
Right.
know, a Jewish
right.
lampstand.
I'm trying to figure out where it is. I don't think I
Okay.
see a menorah anywhere.
It's probably
No.
not one then. If it's probably another flag that's
I
darkly
mean,
colored.
maybe they financed it. Who knows?
Oh, there you go.
Sorry, is that
There
too
you-
spicy? I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's funny as hell, not gonna lie. So
Good.
this is what I was talking about. So this is our main character, David Gracie. He's this rough he's like a, how would I describe him? God, I hate that. I don't know the word for it, but he's sort of this kid who's headstrong. There we go. And his whole story deals with having the prophecy and the legacy of King Arthur forced upon him, and reluctantly he does it in order to keep the people that he loves safe. But he's trying to find his own way to make the mantle his own instead of directly following Arthur's footsteps. And when I brought this on Twitter, I think one of the first responses I got to I was replying to Gene Gentry, and pretty much the whole thing was, "Oh well, this is a mantle character, bro. I don't know what you're talking about." I was like, "No, he's different. You just gotta be."
That's a really tricky subversion to kind of pull off too.
It is
When you the idea of taking somebody else's prophecy and it's kind of shifting it over to a different character. Some prophecy was something that one of my favorite authors, Sarah Douglas, played with in several of her books, and the idea of prophecy and what could it mean if it's not fulfilled, but also what could happen if it's read wrong and it's not quite interpreted well. That would delve into a little bit of spoiler territory, but it was still very good because she was a damn good author. Left Eye Ego, hello. I almost stream sniped you earlier, bro, just for shits and giggles when you had Hero Darky Dark on. Just because I thought it would be funny. This looks, oh God. Yes.
I mean, look at that.
Guys, sign up for this. Yeah, this does look really good.
Yeah, that looks amazing.
That
That's
face in the
immaculate.
grass kind of reminds me of
thank you,
Baron
Gary.
Windsor Smith.
Yeah. There's
Yeah,
like
I can see that.
one in the other link I sent where like you actually get to see the ink for the magic and whatnot. And then there's this one page, it's like a whole library. It's like inside Mervin's cave. It's really good.
Oh,
Man.
cool.
Is
Well,
this going to
look.
be a series? Is this going to be a one and done? What is this?
Oh no. So because I like torturing myself, this is going to be it's going to be a real good project. It's going to be a sequential series, sort of like if I were to compare it to anything, it'd be like Fables and Indie Comics Saga. But the books, I've designed it to be at least 50 to 80 pages an issue.
Dang, that's beefy.
I'm glad you're doing that, beefy boy. It's all I can do to do 48.
Yeah, that's
I don't know how
extended.
you
And
guys do it.
Yeah, I wish you all the luck, man. I'm probably going to sign up for this because I'm between checks at the moment. I can't wait to see this launch and get started. This looks absolutely phenomenal. And this is what I love about indie comics is you're just not seeing this kind of awesome, epic stuff in the mainstream. They're more concerned with everything else besides making something that's entertaining.
Yeah. Is everybody gay?
Yeah. Who got racial?
If they're not gay, I'm not reading it.
Here's a big event starring as many characters as you can, and it's like 30 characters. Most of them you don't really care about. That's like, it's like
whatever you do, you've got to.
Oh,
we'll never know what he wanted. We'll never know what the wisdom.
I guess the feds got to him.
Yeah,
they've been very busy lately. I'm gonna go ahead and excuse me. I'm gonna bring us back over to here. And what was that, Rex?
Welcome back.
I hit it with my foot. I don't know. Go on.
They got to him.
Oh well, hold on.
They
I want
got
to
it.
hear the other end of that statement.
Well, what was the statement? You'll have to remind me.
Dude is a Fed.
How are we gonna remember?
He's in
I
the
can't
flow
disclose
state.
that.
Are we
That's
sure
AI
that's the real
trying to find out
Rex,
what it was. Yeah,
Are we
that's
sure
AI
that's the real
talking
Rex?
to us.
or is that his Fed
That's
replacement?
AI Rex. Yeah.
It's Fed replacement. Yeah, he's glowing.
Should we call him Fed Rex?
Fed Rex.
No, I'll mishear
Rex
you and go
2.0.
to bed.
What can Fed do for
Aw.
you? Well, Aaron, look, dude, that looks great, man. Thank you for showcasing that for us. I appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you.
I want to go ahead and move on because we only got we've been at it for about an hour, and
True.
you know my hard limit's about 2 hours,
Mhm.
especially these days. And I'm gonna go ahead and turn it over to our good friend, Mr. Luke Stone from Fund My Comic,
What's
man.
up?
Sir.
Let me go ahead and
Sir.
let me go ahead and move around over here so I can see you guys.
Yeah.
I was just getting a
That
little
a
work
pipe?
done. No, it's my stylus. I'm
Oh.
working. I'm working. If Luke's in the chair, Luke's working.
Yeah.
Yeah, so things are going well. I spent an awful lot of time promoting the website in general and doing stuff for, the campaigns that are on there or something with Arrow Comics. And I thought, tonight maybe I'll come by and talk about this book that I've had up on Fund My Comic. I started Fund My Comic for this book. I was getting shadow banned, and I didn't understand why. And I saw a lot of people having issues with getting their funds. And I thought, that's silly, So I started to Fund My Comic because I basically wanted to make comic books and be left the hell alone. And unfortunately,
Living
I
the
got so-
dream.
I got so busy with Fund My Comic that I've not been able to make much of my own books. I'm making a lot for other people right now, and I'm never alone. I'm always talking with someone about books and stuff. So I want to take a chance to, talk about Hybrids, the Sons of Gods, what we've got going on here. I've actually got 2 volumes of the story that are compiled. It's 9 issues compiled up into 2 trades, and these are shipping right now. They're actually stacked up down in the living room, and I just dropped off a bunch of boxes today to the post. So
Quick question.
Yeah.
What do they charge for comics when you tell them it's media mail? Because I only just found out about media mail not that long ago.
It's
More or less.
$4 or $5 to ship.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
so
not bad. Yeah, it's less.
pretty-
It's
Pretty
It's
flat
definitely-
ending.
Yeah, it's definitely less. You can ship more for a lower cost. Yeah, so it's now you can't have ads in your books.
Yeah.
If you've got ads for other people, you can have house ads for yourself or for your own company, but you can't have paid advertising in your book.
Huh.
Even one ad will make it no longer media mail.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Now, because I didn't know about media mail when I was about to start sending out the review copies of my novel to other indie reviewers, and somebody told me about media mail, and I was like, oh, I'm glad someone told me because I got one. It's wrapped up at the moment, but as you can see, my book is not small. It's a chunky thing. It's almost it's just over 600 pages, maybe.
Well, I just shipped out 2 trades. And it's about $5-6 now. So
Okay.
it's about $8-9 with all the padding and.
Do you put those in a
All that stuff.
mailer? How do you ship those?
I ship them in Geminis. Yeah.
Okay.
Everything gets shipped in a Gemini. So it's I think it's essential to do that. I wouldn't dare.
Yeah.
I wouldn't dare try to do it without shipping in Geminis these days. So
I mean, they're great. Yeah.
What is a Gemini?
it's I've got one right here. I'll show you.
I'm gonna bring this up real quick.
There you go.
Oh, those things. Yeah. Yeah. That's you've got to the way the mail just disrespects what you put out there.
Yeah.
What they told me at the local mail post office was it's got to survive 60 pounds thrown on it.
I've actually had one of them bent in half.
Oh,
And the only way to do that is like put your knee in it and like really
like
go at
you
it.
mean to do it.
Yeah, like it's not an accident. It's an act of malice.
Somebody didn't like your comic.
Can I show you? Luke also did Chrome Dog. I don't know.
I
if you can
did,
see that at all.
I did Chrome Dog.
Yeah, it's great. It's a really fun story. My kid likes it a lot.
It turned out really good. I was really happy with how it ended up.
So, there's a couple pages here.
And again, I think especially that last page.
Did you get Luke's cover?
I got the Aaron Lopresti cover. So
otherwise
I'd show that one. I'd show off his.
Well, since you're named Aaron, we'll give you a pass.
Thank you. I mean, it is Lopresti.
That Lopresti cover is pretty awesome. Yeah,
it's really nice.
Yeah, it's really nice. I'm glad that he was able to pick that up from him. Aaron's pretty busy. He doesn't normally do a lot of commissions, so it was pretty neat him being able to do that. But so I've been working on Chrome Dog. I'm working on something for R.J. Williams. We've got some stuff for A.C. Pritchard that's going to be in the Iron Age, the Anvil magazine.
Yeah, AC.
So
I'm looking forward to that issue.
I got a lot of stuff coming out, but I've actually started art on issue 10 of Hybrids, so I'm really looking forward to getting that going. I've got another book called Other Realms that it's a bunch of my short stories that I'm compiling together. But Hybrids is my baby, man. I started this a long time ago, and a guy named Adam Lawson calls it. He said that it was the X-Men he wanted to read, and I know that right now a lot of people are kind of, they're a little upset or maybe a little,
they suck, man.
They're preloaded right now with what they think X-Men 97 is going to be, right?
The butt sex men.
Right. So, I mean, they haven't. I don't think they've written a good X-Men story in a while. But this book has some kind of flares of that 1980s and 1990s Claremont era X-Men. It really has kind of this heart to it. Of course, it has superpowers and superheroes in it, but
what answered my question right there.
in this world, angels and demons are real, and there's this verse in Genesis that actually is echoed in a lot of other religious texts that talk about angels and humans having babies, right? And these creatures are called the Nephilim, and the offspring of the Nephilim actually inspired the Greek gods, and so these are kind of modern day. The DNA is waking up in these people, and they are developing godlike abilities. But what's interesting is within hours of this happening, someone is coming along and abducting them. And in the first 5 issues, we find out who and the why and the what and the where. And it ends with this massive rescue attempt for this guy his nickname is Rev, and to rescue his family. Now, not everyone in this universe is superpowered. Some people are just normal folks, but they still are a part of the story. They are able to do heroic things, right? You don't have to have superpowers to be a hero here. And then in the next 4 issues, it's been several months between the 2 arcs. And in this one, the team is a little more acquainted with their powers. They're more of a well-oiled machine. They're really laying some hurt on the bad guys. In the process, they find out that really what's going on is a lot worse than what they thought. The veins of evil run deeper, and they think that they are going to put together the shards of a fabled weapon that could kill a demon. But what they don't realize is they're actually on a deadly scavenger hunt that's going to lead to their own demise. So the second arc is actually called The Killing Field, and we deliver. So that one ends in 4 issues. It's a pretty powerful ending on that one. Not gonna lie, pretty powerful ending on that one. But we pick right back up from there on issue 10. And like I said, I'm working on issue 10 now. Should be delivering issue 10 in April or May. That's the plan. We're doing a lot of work right now with Arrow Comics. We're looking at some additional distribution for the entire Arrow catalog. Hybrids being one of those books. So we're kind of looking forward to that. And if you do like Chrome Dog, if one of you out there picked up Chrome Dog, you haven't picked up Hybrid yet, you liked Chrome Dog, the same artist team is on this book. So I did the art, Patrick did the colors, Patrick Gambit did the colors. And the only thing that changed is some of the books are lettered by Eric Weathers, and some of them are lettered by me, and then some are lettered by one other person. So, but you can't tell the difference. It's all Gucci.
Nice.
It's all gravy, baby.
It looks great. I do love. I always like same thing with superheroes. I love having superhero stuff. You know, the colors pop. The line art looks great. You know, this is the kind of superheroes comic art that I dig. When I used to, read a lot of different comics at Barnes and Noble as a teen, every now and then you'd find guys who have that kind of painted almost. Usually it was in more horror-like stories, but it never translated very well to superhero stuff for me. You guys know what I'm talking about? Where it looks kind of more painted and abstract at times. I prefer it, if it makes sense, I prefer it to look more cartoonish, like this. This looks fantastic to me.
Yeah, I like to do a little more stylized. I've never really been too much into the realism. I really wanted to establish my own style. I really kind of got doing the comic book thing seriously in 2015, 2016. Prior to that, I'd drawn a couple of books. I was still trying to find my kind of my signature, if you will, with art. And I just couldn't find it. And then when I kind of started doing it more seriously, I went through some phases where I was really trying to figure out, do I want to really try to do really cartoony or really like serious comic booky? Do I want to do more 90s style? And I kind of settled because I really liked a lot of the animated stuff, and I really liked, more of the 80s style comic books. Loved George Perez, loved Mike Zeck, and thought, and loved Jack Kirby. What if I just slammed all those together and tried to find my own kind of signature style inside of that? And so that's kind of what I did. I've tried to do that. I used to make faces like really normal. And then one day I just started making the chins bigger. And I'm like, I kind of like doing that. It's kind of just feels natural to me. So you'll notice like on the guys, they have pronounced chins, but the girls, they don't. It's a little different,
Crimson chin.
I love drawing boobs too. Like, I'm not going to lie. I know a lot of people are like, that's like, well, that's so sexist.
Where are her organs?
It's like, I mean, I don't know.
I like boobs.
They're fun to draw. It's, it's like the boobs and the curves. It's like drawing a dude. You don't want to draw like skinny Steve Rogers. You want to draw big, massive, strong Steve Rogers, right? I mean, it's, like Trash Man's fun to draw with all those muscles and stuff. It just makes it fun. And but yeah, I try to be real loose, and I try not to over render, because when I first started doing this series, I was really learning digital art and how to draw on a tablet. And I do colors, but I'm not great at it. I'm never really truly happy with my colors on my art, if that makes sense. I can be super happy with my colors on someone else's art all day, but not my own. For some reason, I just hate it. So I went looking for a colorist for this book, and I went through and I paid for a single page from about, I think, 13 or 14 different colorists. And as soon as I saw Patrick's work, I knew that I wanted him working on the book. He got the light and the color that I love.
Yeah.
I was doing the whole pink and blue thing way before the bisexual lighting thing was a thing, so, but I just love that aesthetic, and he got the highlights and the shading and he made things pop and made them vibrant. And that's what I wanted. I wanted a book that was, very vibrant. Now I'm doing other stuff that's really dark and gritty, a lot of rendering. But whenever I'm working with Patrick, I try to loosen it up a little bit so he can he can really shine. I think he and I work well together. He and I are working on a book together called Terminal Kill that we are 171 pages in right now.
Whoa.
Soon to be,
That's a lot.
yeah, soon to be 100 and soon to be 200. I'll be finishing up 8 more pages this week.
Oh, wow.
Dang.
So yeah.
What's that going to go into?
It is someone else's property.
Oh,
And it's crowdfunding right now on Fund My Comic as well. It funded over on Kickstarter because they're kind of in charge of the project, so they decided to run it over there first. We really haven't promoted it on Fund My Comic. I've been too busy drawing it, and he's a film director, so he's been going to film festivals and been really busy with work. So we haven't really had a chance to promote it, but it made 10K over on Kickstarter, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So it's my second book that's broke the magical 10K kind of
nice.
place.
And
Yeah.
yeah, and this has a tabletop RPG that's
does.
associated with it as well.
Yeah. So we have the quick play that's there right now. I'm still in the process of finishing up the quick play manual. It was supposed to be done last year. I'm really behind on it, and I feel terrible about that. But what happened was we had actually hired someone that was kind of in our space to do the layout for the book. And so I had paid him to do the layout. He started producing kind of pages and then fell off the face of the earth. And finally, after months, I was able to get a hold of him. And he was like, yeah, I had some stuff come up. And I was like, well, are you going to finish this? And he was like, yeah, I don't really think I'm going to do that. I mean, I will.
Oh.
He goes, I will if you need me to, but he goes, it's going to be a while before I get to it. And I'm like, well, I can't.
He pulled the Gandalf on you. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I was delayed.
Yeah. And
Like-
I paid the guy for half the work already, and it wasn't
Yeah.
cheap,
Oh.
No,
and,
nothing in the tabletop space
but-
is terribly
well,
cheap.
And the problem is the problem is he had already ran another Indiegogo, and it was like his second book that he had done, and it didn't make the money that he thought it was going to make. So he hasn't fulfilled on that either, and he's not going to. And then he's like, because there's a lot of these guys in the Comicsgate space, and he was like, yeah, I'm not even into that anymore. So yeah, I don't really want anything to do with it. And I'm like, dude, that has nothing to do with me. Finish my stuff, right? So anyway, I had to take over doing it. When I said take over, I had to start from scratch. And so I had to learn how to do InDesign, because the only thing I know how to use InDesign for is setting up print files for comic books. I know how to import all my stuff, but here I'm like trying to put lettering around artwork. And so I've been in the process of building out the last of the power graphics of the powers, and then all the graphics that I'm working on right now for for what they call a bestiary, or whatever they call it.
Yeah.
All the NPC items that you can use and bad guys you can use and all that kind of stuff. So I'm working on that. But by the time it ships to the people that pre-ordered it, it's going to be a magnificent piece of work, and I'm going to be so hella proud of it that I'm probably going to sleep with it for a few weeks. Like, it's just going to be with me on my pillow. I'm going to love it. It's like, oh, just smell it, rub it.
Yeah,
'Cause it's
snuggle
finally
it.
here.
Oh
It's
no.
Snuggle. Just
Real
snuggle.
Corinthian.
Yeah.
Leather.
It
Yeah.
feels like that when you get done with the big projects, right? Because it's
Yeah.
like, and when it's done, it feels like the whole time you're making something, especially like this or your comics. Comics, admittedly, shorter than a 600-page novel, but it feels like you're chasing a dog chasing a car, and then you catch it, and you're just like, what do I do now?
There are days when I would
Exactly.
rather write a 600-page novel than draw a 32-page comic. It just
can
takes so long
understand
that.
to draw these things.
I can
Yeah.
imagine so, man, and see that in kind of thinking ahead, because I'm wanting to do a comic as well. I don't understand the folks who have the mentality of like not fulfilling it in a timely manner. I would have anxiety the entire time I had someone's money and was not able to give them something in return. Right.
I only have to fulfill about 15 of these books because the pre-order did not go well for the game, right?
Right.
So people bought the trades, but they didn't buy the game. And it's because I didn't know how to market it. Like at that time, I wasn't as connected with the gaming community as I am now. So, I'll wind up re-releasing the book sometime this year or next year. But for now, we're going to get these 15 copies out and then we're going to go. But I still sometimes wake up in the middle of the night hyperventilating. I'm like, I got to get those 15 books out. I'm like, I got to get this done, and so I can't sleep. So I'll come and I'll work a little bit on it. And I'm like, all right, okay, I can't stay up all night. Yeah. So you get anxiety about it because you want to deliver, right?
Yeah.
So everybody's already been shipped out all of the other stuff that they've ordered that I can deliver on, except for that book. So except for the game manual stuff, and that's coming out. When that comes out, that'll be a fun few weeks for me shipping that stuff out to people. But
oh yeah, well, sounds good, man. And I did get that review copy for the tabletop game that you sent me.
Yeah,
I gotta coordinate with a couple of the players because my home game kind of fell apart late last year over the fact that I was working a lot of Fridays. And a couple of them were just kind of decided, we're going to find a home game that's a little more consistent. Because I was the DM, right? They couldn't do it without me.
Of course.
And it was such an insane amount of work. It's so much fun, but it's so much work when you're the DM. So, I'd have to have the chance to, study a little and maybe call my, and one of my players is my son. He just started trade school this week.
Yeah.
But he has a Fridays off.
We tried to design that quick play to where you could literally
just
read it over, like if you're DMing, spend an hour with it and then just have people show up and they learn the game on the fly. It's like a tutorial level for a video game is what it is. Nick Tockard, the guy who designed the game engine and wrote that manual, is so good. He did such a good job at it.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah. Hey, if you ever want to test play it, let me know. I'm totally down.
Right.
I game all the time, so if I got a free day, I'm in.
Yeah, my table's pretty small, but I'm more than willing to say, sit a couple guys down and say, hey, let's give this a try. We can kind of give our own, thoughts on what we think of it for like a potential review in the future.
Yeah.
Happy to do that because D&D, fun as it can be, and Starfinder, which I got behind me. Fun as those games are, they can get a little extensive. So something that's a little easier to prop up and put together can always work.
Yeah, the point of our game engine is fun and storytelling. So there is the rule of cool in our books. So the rule of cool is always a thing. I mean, why do it if it's not going to be fun and cool, right?
Right. I mean,
right.
This is where I end up falling into conflict with. There's a lot of fights in the tabletop space, especially some of the guys who are, trying to promote stuff that kind of fell out of fashion. Things like one timing and exhaustive inventory management and just that's all well and great if you've got all the time in the world. Some of us don't have all the time in the world, and if I have 2 or 3 hours a week to play a game, I don't want to use that time playing Tetris with my imaginary inventory. Right?
Yeah.
That's
I'm not an accountant. Like I'm not here to.
I'm sure that's fun to someone who's meticulous, but let's face it. When it came to Fallout 3, if we're playing on PC, everybody got the mod that didn't let you be over encumbered. I don't care that you basically got a Walmart strapped to your back. There's just some things you just want to get straight to the fun. Yes, it's
fun. Yeah,
it's a game mechanic. My God. Yeah. Anyway, Luke looks wonderful. Thank you, man. I very much appreciate that.
Thanks for having me on. I think I'm gonna have to drop out because it's a little late here, and So I do thank you for letting me come on, and guys, thanks for allowing me so much time to talk about my
problem
book.
at all,
man.
It. Happy to have you here.
Check out Fund My Comic over there, and check out support Aaron.
Yes,
his book. I was like, wait, there's a lot of Aaron's here. Check out support Rex.
Aaron.
Support Rex.
I am Aaron the White.
Rex is on there too.
Sign up for Black Aaron's book.
Finally, I'm a success. I'm on Fund My Comic.
And Darky Dark. I'm not talking about Black Aaron. I'm the other guy, Darky Dark.
Wow.
I don't want anyone to cancel me for saying some racist crap.
Kill me
That's-
now.
I allow it. That's funny.
The other guy, yeah, Aaron's like, I allow it. It's okay.
Yeah, the black guy says it's cool. It's fine.
Punch down, man.
It's
Punch
not.
down.
It's not okay.
I mean, you got two.
Not
of them,
okay.
so.
And Darky Dark, never met you, buddy, but I'll be listening. I'll be listening when I head up there.
Yeah, it was me meeting you, even though we technically never talked. But yeah.
Yeah.
Hello, goodbye. I must be going.
See you guys.
Take care, man.
Later,
See you,
bro.
Luke. Good to see you.
All right. Going to the
Don't
chat real
leave
quick.
doing a hand gesture like that. It's not a good look, Luke. Come on.
Clip
Godful
it.
Universes, what's up? Hello. Metal Movies and Brewskis. That's a new name
Hey,
to
man.
me. Mort Borg is a
dog?
pretty brutal tabletop. I've heard about Mort Borg a couple times before. Granted, I was not a tabletop player when D&D was in its prime. Because I was very poor, and 2, I wouldn't know where to have bought it, and 3, I didn't even get tabletop gaming until not that long ago.
Sure.
But I do enjoy it. And my good friend, the Lord Otter,
Mhm.
a fellow indie author of the Iron Age, says, "Hail, friends. I just want to say you guys rock. God effing speed, and God bless." Thank you, sir.
Yeah, God
Same
bless.
to you.
Mhm.
All right. So we're going to jump on over to Mr. Aaron C. of
Yeah,
Immortal Rising
waiting
Comics.
the whole show.
Immortal Rising.
Oh,
There
awesome.
is a reason he's in the dungeon, folks.
Yeah.
It's
Just
true.
saying.
I've been a bad boy.
Bad boy,
Oh,
bad
no.
creator. You stop that now.
What's it,
I'm
your
thinking-
crime?
hey, first of all, thanks for backing. I really appreciate it. Yeah. In case anybody can hear this, listen to that thick paper. Oh yeah. And I don't know if you can see. Here's some of the internal art. I mean, we're talking about rich colors.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, did
Love it.
Jose.
okay? So it's all Jose, the guts and the cover.
Yes, sir. Thankfully, he's my go-to on Immortal Rising. So, and actually, I'm here partially not just to push issue 1, which is on Fund My Comic, and you can go to my Twitter, and I have it posted on my bio. Anyways, but I also have Immortal Rising number 2 sign-up page is live today. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna update it a little bit.
Oh, cool.
The trailer for it is actually a trailer that I had Animane do for me for issue number 1. But
boy.
it still fits. It is the story. It is a story about it's high fantasy. It's a survival story. Man versus environment. But there's a lot more to it because it's 2 stories, in one, where you see it's kind of like Clash of the Titans, where you see the gods on Mount Olympus and you see them like their politics and the things that happen for them. And then you also see how it translates to the guys on the ground, the first level characters compared to, the God level characters. And you get to see how they get swept up in this war of the gods. So, and this is part 2 to that.
Too.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you. Yeah, and so this one is part 2 of The Calling. It's the first arc of the series, and in this one, well, I should say in the first one, we get introduced to quickly to the main party and the circumstances that they're thrust into, and then in part 2. We kind of slow down a little bit. We get to kind of absorb some of the stuff that we learned in the first issue, and we get to see the planet Terra, where the battle is taking place. We get to see like what's some daily life like, and then we
Some
get to see
building, right?
Yeah. We get some good character building in this one. We're introduced to a new character. He's the wizard of the group. And we get to see how he starts off and how he meets the group as well and what brings them together. And not only that, but we see the characters kind of the main character, Drake Hardy, kind of dealing with the events of the first issue, and them coming to terms with what the hell is going on. So because all of it's kind of like a fastball coming at the characters as well. They are thrust into this crazy world, the war on another world. So there's a lot to come to grips with. But in part 2, we kind of suss it out a little bit more, and we get to see the bad guys in action a little bit. As you can see that's the clip of the cover. There's a bit of a fire that goes on. We get to see the bad guys kind of raiding a village, and the heroes see them, they catch them in the act kind of deal. So, and we get to see how they deal with that. And and hilarity ensues. No, no, it's a dark, epic fantasy, really. That's what we're going for.
Yeah, I gotta admit, I read this yesterday and did not expect some of the plot points that ended up, some of the plot issues that ended up happening.
Nice. Cool. I'm glad there's a little bit of a twist.
Yeah, I don't want to get into spoilers. It's just because it's worth reading, guys. It's worth buying and reading.
Thank you.
The one thing I was struck by, because I know you're a big fan of Dragonlance like I am, because we were on the Dragonlance stream not that long ago. Cheers, Paladin and Dream Rider. Good to see you.
What's up, Paladin?
Another great indie author. But a lot of that love and respect for the classic epic fantasy kind of come through in your writing, and I could tell I was surprised you didn't just straight up write a novel, because you've got a really great way of your prose flowing.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I heard that. It's like, hey, have you considered doing novel and comics together? Who is it? The B.A. Eternal trying to do that. I think that there's maybe another 2 that are as well, and that's not off the table. I'm not against that. I haven't written a full-on novel, so I don't really that's kind of a lot to kind of chew. I've done short stories and stuff like that. Hell, I've even helped write, CD, lyrics for music and all that stuff. But I have not sat down and wrote a real full-on novel, and I may do that just to kind of give. Give some more time to some of the characters and stuff. But I do, one of the reasons that I chose to do comics is because one of the main points that brought me to fantasy and kept me hooked was the art, and that Jose's style lends really well to what I have going on. I think that the way we met was kind of a little happenstance, and it works out super well. Here, let me show you a little bit. So there's the cover, and it works really well. And I think that as we go, issue 2, man, you think some of the I heard some of the art, oh my God, look at some of the pages in this. I will say that in issue 2. I'm challenged with pushing Jose to do something really cool. I've got to come up with a way or a panel or a page that people are going to be like, what? Because he has that kind of art style where it's just so unique.
There's already a couple of splash pages in the book that are like that. You just kind of taking a step back, this is epic looking, and I just love it.
Look at that.
Oh yeah.
Over here. Look at that.
Right.
That looks
just
amazing.
Kicking ass. This is one of my favorites right here. Is this? I want to put this on a shirt. I'll put that on a black shirt, and because everybody seems to really love that. I've used it in ads as well. So, and then look at that. Look at that. This is the god character Erickson, who is a wizard. He's like a god of magic kind of deal, and he's casting a spell. It's insane. So here is them in hell. The gods go to hell for a minute to to exact revenge on someone who betrayed them in a past battle, and
as one does.
Yeah, as you should. I'll cover that up. Anyways, that's one of my favorite panels right there. Is the cleric character is just kind of explaining the world that he's on and stuff like that. Gorgeous art. I mean, Jose has only actually gotten better since we started doing this. So I don't know. I want to push him to his limit. You know, I want to see what he can do. There we go. Look at that. So in this one, you really get to see like, I don't know, like his the way that he draws his monsters, like a lot of goblins and a giant ass ogre, you know, kind of takes on the group. He's like, okay, we're gonna do this, you know, and well, we get to see what happens when the group finally faces like their first serious battle, and how they react to it. So yeah, the Horde Corps is let loose on Terra. Yeah, and we get to see a little bit in this one. We get to see, you know, what is the Bambanite, what does their army kind of look like, and you know, we get to delve into that. But the Knights of Locutus, which is the god story of it, on that aspect, we get some of the backstory that's introduced, or the you know, the existential stuff in issue 1. I fill out a little bit more in issue 2. We get to see, well, who is this, you know, this amazing, you know, god who fights the undead on Terra? Who, you know, who is he? What's his personality like? Well, the gods of Knights of Locutus, they go to Terra finally, and yeah, they are like, well, who's this person who defeated Dracula? Long story. For those who haven't read issue 1, it's a bit of a thick story, so quite a bit to kind of, you know, chew on and stuff. But remember, this is the beginning of a series, so
I was not expecting to see that particular name drop up when I was reading the comic, and I'm like, wait, Dracula? Yes. The Dracula? What is a man, Dracula?
So in my universe or whatever, Dracula is a title, and so okay. It's more and I kind of, you know, in the future I'll play into it more, but you'll see that as the story progresses that yeah, it's a title, and you know, like the Lord of Vampires, or the King of Vampires kind of title. So that is awarded, and it's a long backstory. Trust me, this is based off of like a 30-year, you know, world that I've created with, I don't know, a dozen other people over that long. They've all contributed, and you know, things have changed over time and whatnot. So I know where these characters end up. I know their motivations. I know everything about them. And it's really fun to write them, to actually, and to share them with other people. It's like, how do I clip this just to, you know, like, how do I get to the bare bones of this character that I know so well, and introduce that to a complete stranger? So, you know, that's kind of the challenge, especially in a comic, because it's such a short form. Like you have, you know, doing epic fantasy, potentially you could have a lot you have to cover, and I took that route. I wanted to feel kind of like a fantasy novel, only in comic book form, and I think I did a decent job on it. I think some of the reviews, I think some of the biggest complaints that I heard was that there's a lot in the first one, like it's crammed up with details and stuff. But I will say it's really not, and I think that if people just kind of relax and read it, it'll be fine. And you'll see how it works out in the end, what's important to remember and what is just kind of like flavoring for the setting. So, and I will say this, that over time, everything that's mentioned, everything pays off in the end. So I just have to keep the campaign going for the series, and so that everybody can see it, because it's all there. I promise you that.
That's the thing about fantasy, especially when you're setting up and establishing a universe, is you've got to get all the establishing stuff out of the way in order to really kind of get to the story. This is why a lot of it's well suited to a novel format. I mean, and even then, you know, not everybody has it right. I get mixed opinions on my prologue and some of the early chapters in my book, but there was so much to set up and so much to pay off at the end of the book that, looking back on it, you know, I don't know where I could possibly have cut anything else to make it move quicker. I would have ended up sacrificing too much in the story, and you would have had events happening later in the book that would have made sense if they didn't have that proper setup. It is what it is. We move on, we learn, we grow, and all that.
Well, so for me, when I did issue 1, I didn't shy away from naming things or including things that may not matter now, but will pay off later. Like it'll make sense in at the very latest in issue 3. Most things will finally come to completion. So and that's just kind of the way that I did it, and I'm hoping that it'll be enough answered, but yet still a couple of questions to people who come back for issue 4, and really kind of expand on it that way. So let me see. I want to share something with you. Can I share real quick some art from it? Because issue 2 is done. We're doing I'd say it's Jose went back, like his art is improved since it was originally done, and so he's gone back and he's editing all the stuff, updating it all, and so I have a bunch of those pages without the dialogue. So if you don't mind, I'd love to share some of it.
Oh yes, indeed.
So this is the cover, and we'll this is without all the extra issue 2 kind of stuff and the copyright or whatever. So just kind of flip through. We get to see just kind of normal life and what it's like for the average citizen. And then we slowly, it breaks into, I don't say slowly, but you get to see in issue 1, they're like, oh, we're gonna invade this planet, and that's what we get to see in this one is the actual invasion of the planet. I don't want to skip through too much. Give too much away. So
you will. That's a great preview.
I just want you guys to see the art. The art is great. Great. This is actually the new character. His name is Onai Miller, and he is the wizard of the group going forward. But this is his introduction. So. And he actually lives, for those who read issue 1, he actually lives on the planet that everybody, all the attention is going to. And we get to see a little bit of what that planet's like through his eyes. And and a little bit of his personality. He's not exactly the big, brave, bold type. So, anyways.
He's the glass
cannon. Not to spoil too much.
Yeah,
a little bit of a glass cannon, yeah.
That was something I did in my fantasy setting, was to make sure that the mages, they could do powerful things, but they're nerfed a little bit compared to other settings. And if they don't have the right conditions, they can't perform their magic. So
yeah, exactly. And
that was very, very intentional on my part. Before we move to Darky next, I want to play the trailer that Anime cooked up for you. Because I watched it earlier today, and I was like, man, Anime never disappoints. If you guys need some kind of a trailer or promo or shorts or some video editing work done for your YouTube channels, and you want it to look solid, my good friend Anime Sparkster, good friend of me and Aaron, he does this. He's got his own comic, hopefully coming out this year. And I'm going to be excited for that. I can't back that hard enough. So let me.
I need shorts.
Sorry, in my head I pictured you asking for like pants shorts. I'm like,
let's don't
full screen. No, well, I'm trying not to make it weird. Hold on, I'm trying to.
Yeah, it's fine. Okay. Boomer through it.
Yeah, let me make sure it's all right. Did you guys hear it?
I do it every day.
Did you guys hear it a second ago?
Fake it till you make it.
All right, here we go. 45 seconds. Hope I don't get struck for this. Shouldn't.
Nothing's copyrighted.
That looks better than Madam Web.
Who did the music?
Anime came up with all of that.
That's
I'm
nice.
not sure where you got it from. I'm gonna have to go back and change the cards on the YouTube stuff, but otherwise, yeah, I really like it. He did not add the little "Hey, subscriber."
I've had
I just
Jose
threw it
on,
together
but
today.
I've never had you on, Aaron. I mean, I've been on panels with you briefly, but
oh, you're crazy. You had me on the last day of my campaign and got
Did
me
I?
sales. You did, and I really
Okay.
appreciate that a lot.
All right,
So
all right.
yes.
Forgive me for I knew we'd been on before, but I didn't know
Actually,
it was over.
you got me my last probably like I want to say like 3 sales. I was on your show. It was like, hey, what are you doing? You want to, and I happened to come on, and then I was like, oh yeah, by the way, it's the last day that I'm active on my campaign. And you were like, well, shit, let's do it. And then people were in the chat and they were buying and all that. So it turned out really well. So thank you very much.
Okay, well, we're going to have you back on for this new one to sign
up
and everything. And just
yes, I will be back.
Okay. Hit me up. Absolutely.
Definitely.
Great stuff, Aaron. And look, he's been waiting a long time. So he's been on, he was on another stream before this, but please welcome.
I'm sorry. I need to head out.
No,
so,
go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. Rex, good to see you. Aaron, good to see you again. And
you too,
Hero Darky Dark, I will see you next time because you were going to come on my show, I think Thursday, and then things schedule changes and all that stuff. So Hero Darky Dark will most likely be on my channel eventually. And in the meantime, thanks for having me on, John. I really appreciate it. And guys, go check out everybody's projects. Everything is so awesome going on right now in indie comics. Much better than that X-Men crap that's coming out. So
you got that right.
Yeah. All right. See you guys. Thanks. Have a good night.
Darky dude, I know you've been waiting for a minute, man. Thank you for being a little patient and kind of carrying up the end of this here. Appreciate it. But
no problem.
How was the stream with Left Eye Ego?
Oh yeah, it was great. We have a great discussion. We talk all on subjects. I was able to actually talk more about Zeal than just Gamora, so I was a little bit happy.
Yeah, Ego is a great guy to stream with. Not just a great guest, a good co-host. Just he's a great person to bounce off of in general. And if I'm not mistaken, we're going to share this with you. Your project that you have had going on is the Relentlessly Bullied Hero. And if I'm not mistaken, you were funded all the way not that long ago, right?
Yeah, it was like it just got funded like 2-3 days ago.
That's good.
Awesome.
That's good.
Congratulations.
Oh, thank you so much.
Give us a rundown on what your comic is about, man.
Okay, so the comic is about it's following a hero. His name is Zeal, and he's considered a new gen hero. Now they'll consider it because a couple of months ago, basically the city's star heroes like the Superman, the Batman, All Might, the hero that I get to say almost everyone always looked up to as a pillar, he died. So of course that leaves like a huge void of both responsibility, being that moral pillar, power, all that stuff. So a bunch of new heroes, of course, started their careers, and then others gained prominence during that time. So most people just group those as new gen heroes. And so we follow Zeal as he sees that with the death, society kind of degraded a little bit. Not to say like everyone's like bad, but it's kind of like when your dad's not home, even though you're not a bad kid, sometimes you can start slacking off more than you should, or you don't keep the best morale. So he kind of sees this for both heroes and civilians alike, where it's like people are starting to act a little bit funny, and him being an edgelord, so he's a little bit intense. He doesn't like it, so he wants to change it. So, and alongside him, trying his best to basically be the hero he thinks he should be, he's basically in a binding deal with a villainess. Her name's Gamora, so he can't get rid of her no matter what he tries to do. And
Gamora?
sees Gamora.
That's a great name for a character.
That her right there?
Yep.
Grimoire. Okay, Grimoire. Yeah.
That's cool.
Grimoire.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so, of course, she, in her current condition, she's like really bored. So she just spends most of her time just mess with a hero for fun. So like if he's chasing a villain, he might just push him over to mess up his chase and that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Also, like an actual girlfriend.
You said it.
I think that image right there sums up a lot of their relationship. There's a lot of personality in that image, and I like that.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's really fun dynamic because like it both works in story and both has like a little bit of a marketing thing. Because I was putting the whole story together, I was kind of just going like, okay, how am I gonna people interested in a story about edgelord? I mean, if you saw from Image, just having an edgelord hero, there's like 20 million of them out there, especially probably like indie. So like, okay, how can I actually get people to actually look my way? All right, well, what if I put a taller, beautiful, big titty girl right next to him? Yeah, I think.
I mean, it's worked in marketing for decades.
Exactly.
If it ain't fixed, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah,
and the real key, I think,
dynamic make things fun. Oh, sorry, continue.
The real key in the writing space, I'm sorry, in the creative space is it's eye catching, but coming up with something that is equally like you have to have a good kind of compelling, a good story to kind of go behind it too, because that's the stuff that really endures.
Screw that. Give me more titties.
We're going old school.
Yeah. Ultimate Kahuna for $4.99 says, for all, is there a comic story you want to write, but you don't feel like you have the skill to do it justice? I do a Superman style story. Oh, this is a question for all of us. Do you have a comic story you want to write, but don't feel you have the skill to pull it off?
Shoot.
I sound good. I'm that kind of person where if I want to do something, I just do it. So,
I have this story called The Tenants, where everyone within this old brown-stored building, due to the source water that they're drinking, the seepage in the pipes that they don't know, they each gain a different type of superpower, and they don't know this at first. Like you have an older lady that is talking to her dead husband. She's manifesting kind of like his spirit, his ghost, a ghost image of her husband, and everything thinks she's crazy. And then there's one character that's a young lady living by herself, kind of college, working girl that has speed-like power. So you're dealing with a lot of different things, and I think it would be great for some kind of TV thing if you could do it right. It's just, that's a little daunting. There are some that I haven't quite gotten to yet.
I have kind of the opposite. I have kind of the opposite issue of his questions. I have the skill to do most stories. It's just a question of, do I actually want to write, say, like a horror story or a harem story or something like that? And I can write anything I put my mind to. It's just, is that what I want my brand to be known for? But
I can see that.
Yeah. Let me go get back to the comic real quick, because do either of y'all have an answer for that, or?
I mean, I have one, but I think I found a way to work it out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think you just do it the best of your ability. You choose to tackle it, and you tackle it.
Exactly. It's about climbing that mountain.
I mean, if it's not clear in your thoughts, think about it some more. Don't be afraid to give yourself time. I'm one of those that I'll have 3 or 4 different projects going at the same time, but I'll be thinking about all of them simultaneously.
I can't split my focus like that. I gotta write one thing at a time. It's just how my brain works. Darky, this has man, you got a lot of preview pages up here. How long is this book supposed to be?
It's 52 pages, then there are going to be 8 bonus pages.
Nice.
Mostly because in order to get a certain kind of cover, you need to have at least 60 pages. So I'm like, all right, let me just start in like 8 bonus that won't be technically a part of the main story, but this bonus part for the fans.
The manga style is really nice. I really dig it because I mean, there's a reason why manga sells so much, and a part of that is the really good anime style art.
Yeah. Honestly, this looks like it could be in the Shonen Jump.
Yeah, it really does look like it could be the relentlessly bullied hero. And this is one of the variant covers.
Yeah, that's basically like the main cover. It's like cover A, like the most basic one that will be going to mass produce.
Cover C. Okay. I like it,
That's
man.
me.
This is good fun stuff. And I think a lot of people, kind of miss, really just kind of solid fun, shonen style stuff like this. Because you used to get that in mainstream comics. You don't get that anymore, but you do get it from manga.
All right, for sure. I remember when I was talking about this book on Twitter, someone mentioned, they heard like some of the synopsis about, that society degraded a bit. And someone's asking, oh yeah, don't you think that deconstruction of heroes is a little bit overplayed? And I had to correct and go like, oh no, this isn't deconstruction. Like, I'm not trying to do like the boys injustice stuff with like, oh yeah, the heroes are actually like horrible people.
Yeah, I'm so tired of that too. It's so overblown. It's so oversaturated, that particular genre. And the only one that I've really given a pass to is Omni-Man and Invincible, but he's a complete character and has a whole story and a redemption arc, most importantly.
True.
But the boys is just tiresome. I just don't like it. Just flat out.
Yeah. And I mean, it's been around for 40 years, over 40 years at this point, deconstruction of characters. In the 80s, it was fresh. It's past its expiration date. So am I, guys. I gotta go.
I'm gonna be no, thank you, Rex, for dropping in. Yeah, I'm gonna be calling the stream here very shortly too, but wanted to make sure we got to as much of Darky as possible.
Absolutely. Yeah.
This is a lot to look at. This is a lot to take in, man. You've got a lot on display. And I dig that. I like those pants. That's cute. It's kind of cute. Zippers.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
This is
I'll just explain to people that it's like, don't try to come in like, so there's gonna be like some, jerk up heroes, corruption and stuff. But if anything, I'll say it's more of trying to be more of a reconstruction of hero as people search to find out what it is to be moral. Why are they heroes? What does hero mean, and why do they do for society and all that kind of stuff? So it's more of a uplifting tale shown through an underdog story.
That's nice, man. And do you feel like you've got that accomplished in this story, or are you going to be continuing that forward in future issues?
Oh yeah, no, we're definitely gonna be continuing. I always like to keep things a little bit fast and loose. So it's like depending on how the book is received will determine how long it'll go for. Because I have plans for either way, but from how people been reacting to it and the fact that how well this went for like my first ever with as small artist I started with as many mistakes and missteps I took to still be able to do this well, it's like, oh yeah, I definitely feel like I have a banger on hand here.
I think so too. I like the look of it. The colors are nice pop, and I'm not averse to reading a manga, even though I grew up reading comic books. Manga's got its appeal. I'm gonna go ahead and play the trailer real quick, and we're gonna go ahead and wrap things up. But I want to go ahead and get this played. I'm not gonna copyright struck, am I?
Oh no, it's all of it's mostly, well, except for like maybe some of the music, but it's not even like popular music. It's for free music. So.
Okay. We'll give it a look here real quick.
As pillars of society, heroism must stand proud, no matter what. Through injury, madness, nihilism, and even death, a hero shall step up and lay their body on the line like those before them. We may fail, but we will never stand down, for it is through our valor and will that society will be purified for a better tomorrow. Oh God, I couldn't hold it in. What is this, Zeal? Your first draft? It's worded so weirdly. And haven't you ever heard of a word limit? Gotta make it snappy and interesting. Let me show you how it's done. Greetings, peasants. The great villainess, cursed sorcerer Grimora is speaking. Welcome to the show of my creation, featuring Zeal, the hero of our story. Say hi, Zeal. Fantastic. He's a very odd new gen hero I came across and claims he can return heroism to its once prestigious state compared to its current degenerating from. Hard pressed to believe from his general lack of abilities, but hey, he has spirit. Who doesn't want to see an underdog story? And if he fails, it'll be hella funny to witness. Coming this. Zeal, when is this campaign starting again?
Late January. It's starting late January 2024. And of course it wasn't finished. You just jumped me and stole my journal, you freaking sociopath.
We've got it all. Violence, explosions, my sexy self. So go, give me your money.
You vile woman. You think this is funny? There's no games here, witch. This town is diseased. Rottenness steeped into the soul, and my crusades are chipping away piece by piece. I swear, by my flesh and bone, I shall...
Enough of that. The gag goes back on.
Wait. This is my story, isn't it? Why am I playing second fiddle here?
There'll be plenty of cool stuff, so go spend your money on relentlessly bullied hero. #1. Any parting words, Zeal?
Really? Well, I stole my hero's mission statement too.
Psych.
That was a great trailer, man.
Oh, that was amazing.
That was great.
That brought me back to the 90s shonen days.
Oh yeah. I didn't catch too many of those days, but I caught enough of them to feel a little bit of nostalgia there. No, bad Kahuna, stop that. It hasn't been that long. Let me share this in the chat.
You have some good characters, man.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, when of course, while I was working on the trailer, I was just thinking to myself, yeah, how can I make this stand out? Because I could go with the trial 2 method of just music, soul panels, but now I'm just like, I got 2 very colorful characters, one who's a complete edgelord and another taller teasing lady. Why not just use that as part of the marketing, as that'll probably always draw more attention than just sewing out the panels, so that people can be more attached to the characters and the dynamic than anything else.
That's the characters that really make a lot of fiction work, and as long as you've got that, you've got something really solid. I think this looks really special, man. This looks really fun and cool, and I'm gonna do my damnedest to try and back it, and at the very least, if I can. Like I told a lot of people in my call to indie comics creators not that long ago, my wallet is not as large as my desire to back as many people as I can. It puts a drain on my wallet. My finances are just not up there. I can't back everybody that I want to, and a lot of campaigns have kind of gone on the wayside for me because of that. So, but I'm happy to review them if anybody wants to send me like a review copy, and I will try to get a review out there for people. It's not much, I admit, but it's the best I can do. And I'll still try and support and back people where I can, where and when I can. But I got a family and I got 3 kids, and I have a lot of money that ends up going into the production of my own books. So I don't have as much to splurge as I really want to. I would love to back every comic that I see. I really would. But I'm gonna go ahead and call the stream for here, guys. Aaron here at Darky, everybody that popped up, Luke, the other Aaron, and Rex, guys. If you're all still listening, thank you for dropping in. Thank you for coming by. Lance Corporal Hawk, appreciate you guys, coming on and having the chance to promote your stuff. That's what the Signal Boost is here for. It's what I want everybody to have, is a chance to be able to put their work in front of a few more eyes. Aaron,
thanks for having us on.
Yeah, Aaron Jordan, Darky, guys, loved having you here. Hopefully this won't be the last time.
Definitely not, man. Definitely not.
And thank you to everybody in the chat for showing up. You guys are much loved and appreciated. And for now, guys, find a comic from here, go back it, share it, help spread it out, because that's what's going to help us grow. That's what's going to help indie comics get better. Until next time, hail the Iron Age. This concludes our broadcast day. Viewers who found anything about today's stream objectionable are reminded to suck it. Thank you, and God bless America.